Welcome back.
Whoa. Ah! Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no, not you.
Oh, no.
No. How's it going?
Oh, you know, I'm living the fucking dream, man.
Yeah, you are.
God damn!
You know, I'm just doing good. I cannot wait for tomorrow because that means that that's like technically our Friday, and then we are fucking out of town.
I'm so excited, and I need this little mommy vacation so bad so that I can be a better person on the inside and out.
Yeah, so that you're a person that likes hanging out with your family and your kids again.
Yeah, and then I'm like nice to people by default and not because I'm trying really, really hard.
Yeah,
You know?
to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I cannot wait.
We'll already be back by the time this airs.
Yeah, so don't fucking try and come with us or anything. You murder us on the road. You don't even know
I don't
want to
get murdered.
I don't want to get murdered
These
either.
people aren't going to murder us.
No, they like us.
Yeah, they like us. Oh my God, life is weird.
Life is weird.
Life is so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird life, could you give me your goddamn errand?
I could, yeah. This is a really weird life situation. I think someone's living under my house.
No, thank you. Miss me with that shit. I'm sorry. What?
I'll explain.
I wish you would.
So, for those of you who haven't been to my house, everyone else,
That's the $20 tier.
I have a party. Okay, so I live on the side of a fucking mountain, right? And underneath my house is kind of like built on stilts for like half of it. So
It's very precariously balanced on the edge of a mountain.
it's very precariously balanced on the edge of a mountain. And there's like one room in the like what would be the against the mountain part that is finished. And then the rest of the part that's like against the mountain part up until the first story is like dirt and just shit, right? Like there's nothing under there. Mm-hmm. It's an unfinished, there's a boulder, there's some dirt, whatever. The house is like above it, but it's
like
all,
you can access it, but it's not finished or anything. It's literally just the ground.
yeah, but it's like enclosed. So from the outside, you don't see that my house is like sitting above the ground. From the outside, it looks like the house goes all the way to the ground. But then like inside, you're like, oh, that makes a lot more sense because
Where did
your
this
house
go?
doesn't have slanted floors
Yeah.
on this mountain.
I see how that works.
Yeah.
The homes here are really weird. Like you'll drive by and you're like, oh my God, that's a massive house.
Yeah,
and
really,
really,
oh,
it's
no,
like,
it's just the top level.
yeah, really, it's just like stacked on top of itself, and then they make like this giant wall till it touches the ground.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like the bottom level, because it's not flat, is kind of useless.
Yeah,
and then you have this
Pay
weird
for
cubby hole.
stucco. That's
Yeah.
literally what we have. So the bottom area of our house, like the fucking I don't know.
Basement that doesn't go underground.
Yeah. But like uneven base. I don't know. Either way,
Yeah.
this bottom area is open, accessible, whatever. We leave like our bottom room that's actually finished. We leave that open to the outside world for the dogs. So they can go run around in the yard and then they can go into that room so that we're not bad dog parents, right?
Yeah,
And
fuck dog houses. My dog has a goddamn condo.
yeah, my dog has a whole goddamn room,
Yeah,
right?
like a fucking studio apartment.
Yeah, he's chill. They're chill.
Yeah.
And we always leave that door, well, usually leave that door open so that they can go in and out and whatever. Never once considered that you can also access the underside of the house
Yeah,
through there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, the dogs are there. Like, nobody's going to fucking, it's Carl. He's big and scary.
yeah.
Nobody's just going to fucking come in there, right?
What if they start feeding them tricks?
Okay,
Treats.
so-
not tricks. Tricks won't work very well.
It might work. My
they're
dogs
into
are
it, I
dumb.
don't
They'd be
know.
like, are these for kids?
Silly rabbit.
Silly Carl, these are for kids. So, to make a long story shorter, Brandon has been missing this shovel for like a month or something, right?
Okay.
Couldn't find it. He looked everywhere, couldn't find it, blah, blah, blah. We have a sump pump. I've talked about it before on this podcast. It is also in said unfinished area under the house. Sump pump started acting up, so Brandon went down there, dicked with it like a week ago, right? Shovel's been missing for like a month. Brandon went down, dicked with the fucking sump pump about a week ago. And then last night or the night before, I think it was the night before, sump pump started acting up again. And so then he went down there and he fixed it or whatever. And the shovel that's been missing was leaning precariously against the sump pump.
What?
And he didn't put it there
That's creepy.
because he's been missing it for like a month. And he just dicked with the sump like a week ago.
And
And
it
he would
wasn't
have
there.
noticed the shovel that he'd been fucking missing for an entire month,
That's
right?
creepy.
So, and I didn't put it there. I don't even, as I've mentioned before, I don't even know where the fucking sump pump is.
Yeah. Yeah.
My brother hasn't been over to fuck with us.
What?
I don't know. And Brandon is like, he's like, I literally got goosebumps and like got the fuck out of there because I was like, somebody's gonna fucking murder me with this goddamn shovel. He like took the shovel
For sure.
and got away.
Yeah, he's like, nah, my murder weapon. Why would the murderer lean it against the sump pump though? Like, I'd like to play a game.
I said he was probably shitting onto the shovel and then just plopping it into the sump. Like,
Duh.
That's how you get it out of
Open
there.
the sump,
I mean, you can, yeah.
and then is it like shit?
Yeah, it's like shit water.
Oh, gross. Like I just
Allegedly. So I've heard. I haven't seen it.
Interesting. Okay, I have some questions.
Okay.
Do you still have the security camera on down there?
No.
Oh.
Cool start, right? Cool start.
Well, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. So I've just started locking the doors like to the main house. So I'm like, well, I mean, if you're going to live down there, like live down there. And then like the main house area, you can get like into the garage and you can get into that bottom room, but you can't get into like the house, right?
That's very nice of you. Also, you should turn your security camera back on.
Oh, well, I don't think it's down there anymore. I don't even know where it is.
It was probably pointed at the fucking rat.
It probably was.
Or, like, the
It's
beer
probably
temperature.
still- it's probably still pointed at the fucking rat.
Why was that not your first thought? Like, oh, I'll just set the camera back up.
Because then one of us, probably Brandon, has to go down there and like hope that the person isn't like creeping in the corner.
So you guys are just never going back.
I was just
down
never
there.
going down there again. And then if
Like
the,
that part of your house is just dead to you.
yeah, and then if the sump starts acting up, we'll like yell and hope that they fix it. Like, man, hope I don't have to go down there and fix the sump. Oh, it's working now. Like maybe the next time Brandon goes to fix it, then he like says what he's doing. Like, man, every time I have to fucking hose off this valve so that it gets unstuck.
If
So that
somebody
the guy,
was
like,
living here, I sure would let them continue living here if they
Yeah.
would just do this for me
Yeah.
occasionally.
yeah, so the guy knows what to do. Or girl.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't fucking know. I don't like it.
I know. So
I don't like it one fucking bit.
I have someone living in my house. I don't know. Yeah,
I hate
but
it.
that's
I
my
hate it.
story, and I'm sticking to it. And
I like it. I hate it and I
know.
like it. You want to hear my goddamn?
I would love to.
I've been, again, withholding this information from you for
my
an
God.
entire day.
You bitch.
Okay, so my week has been a week, all right? Let's just keep it at that.
Preach.
I feel like everything I do is like I have to do it twice. It's an uphill battle and it still doesn't get done right. And you're just like, fucking give me a break. So
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly excited for our fucking getaway weekend.
Yep.
So yesterday I was like, fuck life. I'm working from bed. Like I'm doing everything to make myself comfy. And so I was sitting in bed and I'm like typing away, doing my thing. And then Lee comes in and he like kind of lays on the bed and he's talking to me and he goes, it smells like Brussels sprouts in here. And I was
That's
like,
weird.
I was like, dude, our room smells like shit. Like, I don't know what is going on. I don't know if a dog drug something in. Like, I don't know what. Because sometimes Chelsea will get in the trash. Like, if we have, like, the trash lids, like the lids with the trash cans on it, this is going to be hard for me to do this
Yeah,
podcast.
it sounds like it. I believe you mean trash cans with lids.
lids on it so that she will not get in the trash. But she always gets in there somehow, some way. Like, especially
Yeah.
if there's bacon grease in there, she's like, I can open that.
Yeah, she's like, I watched you guys step on this. I understand how it works.
She'll figure it out if
Yeah.
it's urgent enough. And then so sometimes, because her little bed is like by our bed, and so sometimes I'll come in and find trash like kind of tucked under our bed. Not that she hides it. It's just like as she licks it, it goes under there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, fucking Chelsea probably brought some shit in here. I don't know. I gotta fucking figure it out. And our room is not clean to where you could just look and see like, oh yeah, there's something there. It's like you've got to pick up some t-shirts. You have to fucking move the blanket that fell off the bed.
Yeah.
It's a hot mess. So Lee's like continuing talking. He's like, man, it really fucking stinks in here. And then he had to go somewhere and do something. And I was sitting there and then I started to smell it really bad. And I was like, dude. And I was in a meeting. So like I was kind of like putting myself on mute and like sniffing around. Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
And Lee was like, you probably left your plate in here because you had Brussels sprouts in here recently.
He literally thought it smelled like Brussels sprouts.
Yes. And he was like, I think you left your plate in here. And maybe it's like in the bed because we have sheets, like not sheets. We have like the extra blanket that goes over you if it's cold. And it was kind of like all balled up in the middle of the bed. And we just always crawl in on our side and like pull the normal blanket up. And then if you're cold in the middle of the night, you pull it over, right?
Okay.
Like you pull over your like the mini blanket that should be at the foot of the bed, but it's like squished between us.
Yeah.
So he's like,
There's Brussels sprouts in the fucking communal blanket.
well, that was his fucking theory. And I was like, there is no way I left a fucking plate in here. Like, I'm not that gross.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty gross.
I was judging.
Oh, you are gonna judge. I'm not even 100% confident I should be sharing this goddamn.
Oh my
This is how
God.
intense it gets. Okay. So anyway, so Leah's like, you probably left a fucking plate in the bed and it got like tangled up in the sheets or something. I was like, there's no way. And I kept like looking around, whatever, couldn't find it. And then later in the day, I come outside and like, cause I was working in the room, right? I come out into the living room and I'm like talking to Lee, whatever. And then I go back in the room and I'm like, it fucking smells like death in here. Like now that I've left and come back in here, it smells so bad. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, if you think it's in the bed, whatever. Cause like the whole time it was like so busy at work. I'm working, I'm like doing meetings and shit. So I didn't have time to fucking investigate. And Lee's just like, toodles, whatever. I think we actually had the kids home that day. So he was busy, whatever. It was not a priority. It was just like, goddamn, it stinks in here. So I walk in and I'm like, it smells like shit in here. If you think it's the fucking bed, whatever. And so I grab that communal blanket in the middle and I rip it off. And you're not going to fucking believe what I saw on the bed.
A plate of Brussels sprouts?
I wish it were a plate of Brussels sprouts.
Oh my God, what was it?
It was a dead gopher. I'm not even fucking kidding you.
In your bed?
It had leaked. So I don't even know how long it had been in my bed. In my bed. Mostly on Lee's side.
Oh, thank God.
There was a dead gopher in my bed. I don't even know how long. I pulled it back. I screamed. And I was like, Lee, get in here. And he's like, what?
Sounds like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, it's like, goddamn, they do stink though when you cook them.
Oh, I thought you meant gophers. I was like, well, you would know.
No. Oh my God. Also, I felt slightly validated that I did not leave a plate full of food just in our fucking bed. Like, I'm not on my
Maybe that's what
600
the
pound
gopher was
life.
coming for.
Maybe. Oh my
You guys
God.
suffocated him in your communal
Oh
blanket.
my God. Okay, so I'm like, babe, look. And he's like, what? And I'm like, pull the blanket back. Because I didn't get it all the way back. I flipped it. I went, ah!
Like,
and I
nope.
flung it. Yeah. And I was like, pull that blanket back and look what's in there. And so he does. And he goes, oh, that's what Chelsea was burying. That was his response. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. What? What? You saw her burying something? You just left it? And he was like kind of laughing. And he's like, yeah, I thought it was like her bone. Because she always gets like,
when did he see that?
that's what I said. And he was like,
Tuesday. Get the fuck out of here.
he couldn't remember. He's like, I think it was this weekend. Yeah. And I was like, no, get
When
the
did
fuck
this
out.
happen? Yesterday?
Yesterday. That was Tuesday.
So for 2 nights at least.
I just slept with a fucking rodent in my bed. Maybe. And then he said, well, like, maybe it was yesterday. I can't really remember. And I was like, you're just saying that because I'm freaking the fuck out right now.
And also concerned that you didn't, like, I don't know, fluff the blanket or be like, hey, chill, what are you doing?
Well, she buries shit all the time. She buries
Yeah?
her toys. She, like, buries
Okay.
them in her bed. Like, she'll, like,
I don't like that.
ruffle them all up. But also, I'm a little concerned that, like, we didn't move at all. If it was there, even for one night, like, I didn't move the blanket. It was just, like, literally, like, I just pull my little blankets up on my side and I go to sleep. And then I wake up and I pull them over and then I just do my thing. And then I don't make my bed every day.
Yeah, no one does.
Yeah.
Psychopaths do.
And so it was just there. Because it's been hot at night. Like, we haven't needed that blanket. I don't even know how fucking long it's been there, but I will tell you one thing. It leaked.
That is so
This
fucking
motherfucker
disgusting.
leaked. It leaked all over the quilt that my mom made.
Oh,
Like, because the
no.
quilt was kind of on top of it on Lee's side. So it leaked all over that. It leaked all over the top sheet, the bottom sheet, the mattress pad, which thank fuck, there's a mattress pad, right?
Yeah.
So we take it all out and I'm like, burn the room down. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't want any of this stuff anymore. I'm never sleeping in there.
Your
like
mom will make you a new quilt.
I was seriously like, I will sleep on my son's bunk bed. I'm done. Like, I am fucking frustrated.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I understand on Hoarders how people will be like, I didn't realize there were 16 dead cats in the house. Because you fucking get used to it, I guess, if you're sleeping
It's
in
a
it.
hard fucking hard jump.
Hard cut. Oh, I am like so beyond freaked out that this happened and super embarrassed too that I slept with a fucking dead gopher in my bed. I had no idea. I don't know if it was like not dead long and then like was starting to decompose and that's why I started smelling it.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the fucking details, but I can tell you that we pulled everything off. I like put so much like Borax and shout and like bleach and shit on my stuff to try to save it. Cause like I don't want to throw out my mom's quilt.
Yeah.
The sheets, I'm like, fuck it. But we really only have one set of sheets. So I'm like, if I'm washing the quilt, I might as well try, right? So we strip everything and go in the room, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, it still smells like death.
Oh my God, I bet. And it's literal death.
I had a mattress pad on, and I'm pretty sure it just leaked into the bed because it smelled so bad. I had to grab bleach. I poured it onto my bed, and then we have like a carpet cleaner that has an attachment for like couches and
Liquid,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. And so we cleaned it like 2 or 3 times and then just let it like air dry the rest of the night and then slept on it last night.
And how was it?
I don't smell it anymore.
Did it feel like there was a ghost of a dead gopher in your dreams?
Probably. I did not sleep well though. I cannot believe I slept with a motherfucking dead gopher in my bed.
That is so gross.
And it had to be there long enough to like it was leaking. There
That
was
is-
like blood. I don't know
It's
if
just body
Chelsea killed it.
fluids.
Yeah, I don't know if Chelsea killed it or if it was like already dead and she's like, fuck yeah, because she never really kills anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was like, I know what I'll do.
Give this to mom and dad since they can't seem to hunt.
What the fuck, man? Either that or somebody is like trying to send me signs because first a dead rabbit and now a dead gopher in my bed. I have no idea.
Maybe it's the crows.
They're like, where are my motherfucking
Did you make me a
peanuts?
lucky gopher spot?
No, that's what Lee said. He was like, do you,
Do you, do you want me to keep this?
Get it out of here. No, I was so... I'm like literally frustrated now at everything in my house. I'm like, everything is filthy. Like I
Yeah.
have gone to like 100.
Yeah.
Like burn it.
I mean,
Burn it.
I don't see another option at this point.
I don't either.
That's a good one. It's pretty horrifying.
Yeah. Might be the biggest goddamn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
In my fucking bed. 100% slept with it for at least one night.
That's gross. That's gross.
Oh my God. Okay, so now that everybody is judging me,
Yeah. Hard.
I swear I'm not a disgusting person.
I believe you.
Okay. Do you want to hear about my story this week?
I do. I want nothing more in my life.
Okay, this week I'm going to tell you about. Okay, this is kind of a well-known one, which I had never heard it, so I figured I'm going to share it anyway.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you about Stephen Pladel. Pladel. P-L-A-D-E-L.
I'm sorry, one more time.
P-L-A-D... Just D-L. Pladel.
Oh.
It's hard to
Pladel.
put a D and an L next to each other.
Yeah, that's
Pladel.
weird.
Maybe it's Pladel.
Pladel. Pladel?
Okay, so Stephen Pladel.
Okay. Off to a good start.
Okay, for the record, I have like no backstory on anybody in this case.
Per usual.
Per usual. So we're going to jump right into it.
Okay.
In 1995, 20-year-old Stephen Pladel meets Alyssa Garcia on the internet, and the pair start a romantic relationship.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know how you're doing that in 1995. You're putting in one of those AOL discs. I don't even know if they had discs then. It was probably floppy. I don't fucking remember. Do you?
I don't remember.
I did
remember
not
when those
have a
AOL discs came
computer
out.
in 95.
I think we had one.
You would. You have a foyer.
We had it on the Davenport, right next to the Chesterfield. Yeah, but it wasn't like, I mean, all it had was floppy. I don't think we had CDs yet.
Yeah.
Maybe we did.
Whatever. I don't really remember.
But we
Everybody's
were
like
also, like,
screaming at the...
Not the fancy
Yeah.
rich people with like the new computer, you know?
No, for sure.
Yeah. We had like MS-DOS.
Exactly. So anyway, they met on the internet and they start a romantic relationship. Okay, so Alyssa goes on later to explain that Stephen had a very explosive behavior
That's not what I thought you were going to say, but okay. Yes.
or personality. And he owned like this mini stash of guns and shit. So the guy was like basically a ticking time bomb because as you can tell, some bad things are going to happen.
Okay, so he was Brandon minus the explosive behavior.
Yeah. And also he was kind of abusive.
Okay.
But
not great.
I'll kind of get into that.
That's
so,
not Brandon, for anyone wondering.
Yeah, blame
I'm
twice.
Not abused.
Oh, God. Okay, so after 2 years of dating, Alyssa and Steven discover that Alyssa, who is 17 at this time, is pregnant.
Okay, hey, he's 20?
He's 20. Well, he's like 22 now.
Okay, and
But
she's
she's
17.
17. Mhm.
Ooh.
So he was 20 when they met and she was 15.
Gross.
Oh, story's going to get way grosser, just so you know. Okay, so after 2 years of dating, they discover they're pregnant, right? And Alyssa gives birth to a baby girl and they name her Denise.
Okay.
So after Denise was born, Stephen continued his abusive behavior in the home and even aimed it at his baby girl.
Gross. Hate
Yes.
it. Hate
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Trigger warnings for everybody forever.
it. Okay.
Like I've read this like 5 times and I was like, I'm never covering this case.
This doesn't sound familiar to me yet.
And then for some reason, I was like, I'm going to do it this week.
This seems like something I can handle. I've handled a gopher in my bed.
Yeah, like I have given up
Yeah.
on everything in my life and totally desensitized that I was like, fuck yeah, I'll tell a story. Let's fuck up some other people's emotions.
Yeah.
Okay, so he starts aiming the abuse towards the infant Denise.
So bad.
And Alyssa says that Stephen would like pinch the baby, brutally pinch the baby, which I don't even know what would trigger that. Like an infant.
Like screaming, maybe?
Why would you think pinching would make that stop?
Oh, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
No,
like that's the
no,
worst plan
no.
ever. But anyway, the baby would be like covered in bruises from him pinching her.
Baby.
And then when the baby wouldn't stop crying, he would literally put her in like a cooler and close the lid to muffle her screams and then prevent Alyssa from getting the baby out to like comfort her.
That's not good.
And then the baby would be like on the verge of suffocation. And then Alyssa would be allowed to like get the baby out.
That's so scary.
So Steven's an asshole.
Yeah, it
All
sounds
right?
like it.
Like he's a grade fucking 1 top level tier dick wad
yeah.
or whatever
Yeah.
we're calling him.
Yeah.
So despite all of the abuse and everything going on in the home, Alyssa and Steven get married. And when Denise is only 8 months old, Alyssa decides that she should give her up for adoption so that the baby can like escape the hell of the home, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my God, what a hard decision.
I
But
know.
also, like, Jesus, that's
Yeah.
good on her to be
Yeah.
so, like, aware.
She was
But also, don't fucking marry this guy. Get out.
I know, but like when you're in an abusive relationship,
I know. It's so hard to, it's so easy to say from the outside, like,
Yeah.
why are you staying?
yeah, exactly. So, but like she decided, like, we're too poor, we're too young right now. Like, he can't keep a stable job or anything. We can't provide a good life for her, and he's abusing her. So, in order to give her the best life,
self-aware.
I know. So she gives the baby girl up for adoption.
Okay.
Also, she says later that it was like one of the hardest things she ever had to do.
I believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know, it's what happened, right?
Yeah.
So Denise gets adopted by a nice couple by the name of Anthony and Kelly Fusco.
Okay.
And they live in Dutchess County, New York. Now, where Alyssa and Steven lived when they had Denise, I don't fucking know.
okay.
I probably should have looked that up, but I didn't catch it.
Okay.
Anyway, so now Denise is living in New York. So once she's adopted by Anthony and Kelly, they changed Denise's name to Katie. So now
Okay.
Denise, the baby, is Katie.
Okay.
There's a lot of
Katie the
fucking
baby.
names and stories here. Yeah. So Katie goes on to live a very normal and happy life with her adoptive parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like her adoptive family explains that she was like always eating like a lot. They like gave her a nickname Pac-Man because she was always eating food all the time.
That's cute.
And like she was, you know, fun and happy or whatever. She was also like a really good artist, and she was known in her high school for drawing like really cool and awesome comic strips and stuff. And she always explained like, and she had like blogs and stuff, right? So she would explain that like art was her life and it was her escape, and it's somewhere where there weren't any rules, and you know, she could like be herself. So like art was her jam.
Yeah.
Also, she loved animals so much so that she became a vegetarian. So like she seems like a very
Okay.
nice little person. What?
I thought you were going to say she loved animals so much that she became a veterinarian, but you said vegetarian, and I was like, it threw my brain. I was like, that's what? Like, that's not how that works. And then I realized, well, I guess you
don't
would
eat-
love animals.
Yeah, you don't eat animals, so
yeah, to be
you
a
become
vegetarian, as well. But my
Glad-
brain, I was like, she's dumb.
that didn't work
She
out.
being you, not
Oh.
Katie.
Well, I am dumb. Sometimes.
But I get
Today,
it.
in
I'm the
particular.
dumb one.
Yes. So she became a vegetarian. Mm-hmm. So she sounds like this nice
Yeah.
girl, right? Like she's going to grow up to be fucking
Spectacular.
a good, productive member of society.
Probably a veterinarian.
Oh, maybe. No, actually, she was going to go to school for digital advertising.
Okay.
In case
Also
you're
cool.
wondering. Also very cool for veterinarian clinics.
Sounds like me, except for the vegetarian part.
Yeah, she does, right? Except for you also weren't adopted and abused as a baby. That we know of,
Same.
but kind of different. Okay, so meanwhile, back at her biological parents' home, Stephen and Alyssa, they have another child in 2007, and this time they feel that they're mature enough to like take care of the baby, right, and like start a family. So they end up having a baby girl, so they have a girl. A few years later, in 2012, they give birth to their third daughter and again keep the baby as well. So now they have 2 daughters at home and then 1 daughter that is adopted, right?
Okay.
Adopted out.
Okay.
So now it's 2016 And Katie, who is previously Denise, right? Mm-hmm. She's 18 years old, and she learns from her adoptive parents that she's adopted. Like, she didn't know that her whole life.
Oh.
And so she learns it at 18.
18.
18.
That's older.
Yeah. I wonder how that came about.
I don't like that, really.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Whatever.
do you? Whatever you think is best for your kid. You know
Maybe
your kid.
she was like protecting them from the parents. I don't know. Anyway,
been, yeah.
so, but probably not. Maybe they just were like, this is my baby.
Yeah.
I don't
Just
know.
try and give her as normal as possible.
Yeah, I will try to leave judgment out of all of those things because I don't fucking know. I've
Yeah.
never experienced it. So she learns she's adopted, and Katie becomes very curious about her biological parents. Mm-hmm. So she does some research, and she actually finds them on Facebook, I think. It just said social media, but
MySpace.
yeah. Well, it's 2016, so.
Oh. Maybe Facebook. Yeah.
Probably Facebook, maybe Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
What a weird way to connect on Twitter. You know, like in 2016.
Only 140 characters, Mom.
I miss you a lot, and also what happened.
And also, why?
Okay, so, you know, Denise's birth mother,
Biological
right?
mom, yeah.
She is now 37 years old, and she has her 2 other daughters, and she gets this, like, ping from her long-lost daughter that she gave up for adoption, and she's like, holy shit, this is crazy, and
Yeah.
starts, like, communicating back and forth. And Steven jumps in, too. So they're, like, both talking about, like, wow, this is so cool that we're able to connect and everything. Like, we should meet up,
It's so cool that I didn't kill you back when you were an infant.
right?
And you're like a whole person now.
Right? But Katie doesn't know that she was abused as a
Yeah.
child, and that's why she was given up for adoption.
Yeah.
They're
Man,
just,
if you're going to tell the truth, tell the whole fucking truth.
yeah, they're just kind of like, yeah, we were young, and so we couldn't, like, we weren't mature enough to,
We
like,
were
take care of
young
a
and your
baby.
dad kept trying to fucking suffocate you in a cooler. But,
Yeah.
you know,
He couldn't handle your tears, even though he was an adult. He was 22 years old.
boys will be boys.
Oh, God. Anyway, so exactly. So they're like, okay, yeah, this is great. Like, so nice to talk to you. We should
Yeah.
meet up in person. And so Katie's all about that. And they
Yeah.
meet up and they all get along very well. And they continue on kind of this like new relationship of starting to learn who each other are, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've been missing for my entire life. I want to know more about like my family, like my biological side of my family.
Yeah. Where you been? What's up? What
What's
do you
going
do?
on? So Katie eventually graduates from high school, and she has plans to go to college, like I said, to study digital advertising. But her pull towards her biological family is so strong that she decides that instead of going to college, she's going to go move to Enrico, Virginia, where her biological parents live, and she's going to go live with them.
Okay.
Like, they're going to all be a happy family together.
Okay. That's kind of a heartbreak for the adoptive parents.
Right? Okay. So Katie's adoptive parents, they were super apprehensive, but they
Yeah.
were also like, well, she's 18.
Yeah.
So, like, she can make her own decisions. And so they just supported her in the move. Like, we don't want to lose her or
Yeah.
anything. So we're going to support her on her fucking journey. Right?
Yeah.
So it's now late 2016, and Katie is living with her biological family. And Alyssa and Steven start to have some marital issues.
Okay.
So, I mean, like I said, he's been super abusive to her this whole time. And it's
Yeah.
not very shocking that she's like, I'm fucking over this shit right now.
Yeah. It's not new.
Yeah, nothing new. They argue a lot and they start sleeping in separate rooms. And Alyssa says that the whole family basically had to walk on eggshells around Steven's explosive behavior. And he was almost always angry and smashing stuff around the house, like in front of the kids and everything. And she was just like, I'm fucking sick of this life.
Yeah.
I'm not about it. At one point, Alyssa pulls Katie to the side and explains to her that as a baby, Steven was abusing her. And that is really why she was given up for adoption. And Alyssa claims that Katie really didn't seem that concerned about it. Like, the information was shared, and Katie was just like, okay, thanks for sharing that. Like, I have a good relationship now, so I'm not that concerned.
Yeah. Which, okay.
Yeah, because she doesn't remember it. She
Yeah.
was fucking months old.
Yeah.
So soon after Katie moved in, Steven's behavior started to shift, and he started to wear like skinny jeans and tight shirts. And he started to grow his hair out and shave off his beard, like he was trying to look like younger and shit.
Yeah.
And then he started to sleep on the floor of her bedroom at night.
Nope. Mm-mm. Don't
Yep.
like that.
Yep. And the first time Alyssa found him in there, she was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he like, started a fight or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second time she found him on the floor in there, she like, gets concerned, confronts Steven about it, makes a whole, a fight ensues. And Steven and Katie like storm out of the house together.
Oh.
Like, it's none of your business. I could do what I want, whatever.
And Katie also was like, yeah, deuces.
Now, the article wasn't like, and Katie stormed out also mad. It was just that Steven stormed out of the house with Katie.
Okay. Ooh.
So, Alyssa is like, fuck this shit. I'm not sticking around for this bullshit. I want out of this house. I want a divorce. I don't want to deal with Steven anymore. And so she takes the 2 younger daughters and she leaves and she files for divorce.
Okay.
Now, in the divorce, she shares custody of the 2 girls with Steven. So on a regular basis, those girls go and live in this house with Steven and their biological older sister, Katie. Because now it's Katie and Steven living together.
Ugh. Okay.
After a few months of living this way, Steven starts instructing the 2 younger girls to refer to Katie as their stepmom and not their sister.
Nope.
Yep.
Did you know there's been like studies done or whatever of people that have been separated from their like biological parents or whatever, and then when they meet back up, they're like, they have
a sexual attraction?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's like one of my finishing bullet points, but like this case is kind of like one of those key
example of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Ugh, gross.
Oh, I know. Okay,
Gross.
so one of the little girls, she was 11 years old and she keeps like a diary, right?
Yeah.
And so one day she writes in the diary about how she has to call her older sister stepmom and how her older sister is pregnant with Steven's baby. So Alyssa.
That's incest.
That's fucking incest. So Alyssa reads the diary.
Hooves.
What's that?
Those kids are going to have hooves.
Yeah, they are. Or like really long faces and big ears.
You're just thinking of that one documentary.
Exactly.
1,000-yard stare.
Oh,
Ugh.
man.
Ugh.
Okay. So Alyssa,
Yeah.
she reads the diary and learns this news and loses her fucking shit. And she calls Steven to be like, dude, are you and Katie really having sex?
Yeah, like that's gross. That's not okay.
That's gross. And is she really pregnant? And Steven replies with, quote, I thought you knew.
What?
We're in love.
Oh, no.
And so Alyssa starts like cussing him out and shit and decides to call the police because like incest, right?
Yeah.
So she calls them and they're like,
Because, like, incest. Is it illegal?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is very illegal.
I mean, I'm not, like,
Here
pricing it out or anything. I'm just just wondering.
Yeah, it's considered illegal here in the U.S.
Okay.
It's not illegal everywhere. But here in the U.S., it is illegal and is very deeply frowned upon.
I know it's very deeply frowned upon.
Well, I'm
but,
just
like,
explaining that for everybody else who maybe lives in a country where they're like, fuck yeah, incest all the time. That's how you keep the goddamn purebred line.
Oh, gross. It's very purebred. You're going to have hip dysplasia.
And like 50% of them, yeah. The other 50%, though, high quality genes. I don't really know the statistics, so don't do anything based off of my knowledge.
That. Oh, man. That's. What are the police going to do? Like, stop fucking your daughter.
Yeah, please.
Can you not?
Can you just leave her alone?
And also, she's already pregnant.
I know. Okay, so the police come and they investigate, but they don't arrest anybody or anything like that. Like
They investigate?
they're like, yep, they're living together. I think it like opened an investigation where they were like, don't do that.
Yeah.
If we see you doing that, we're gonna do something. Right?
It's such a weird thing to police. I feel like
It
society should
is.
police that and just
It
like shame
is.
him.
Isn't it a
Them.
weird thing? But it is technically illegal. So
That's weird.
I don't. They fucking probably worked out the logistics of all of that.
Who's on that fucking task force?
The incestual task
Yeah.
force. That's so hard to say.
The incestual task force.
Good job.
Thank you. Fucking Greg is sitting at his desk and he's like, got another one for you. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah. Fucking. I bet they're like real busy in certain states.
What state? States?
I will not say the ones that I was thinking of at the top of my head for fear of offending someone dear to us
Yep.
who listens to podcasts.
That's fair.
Anyway, okay, so now police come. They're like, hey, no.
Keep your pecker in your pants, old man.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, promise. fucking hand to God.
Yeah.
Won't do that shit.
Yeah. Well, at least wrap it up so there's no physical evidence.
Yeah, exactly. So now it is the summer
Like
of...
a baby.
Yeah. Oh my God, no. She's definitely pregnant though. So now it's the summer of 2017. Of course, they're carrying on their relationship, right?
Gross.
And Katie and Steven moved to Nightdale, North Carolina. And here, she's still pregnant. She's like 7 or 8 months pregnant or something.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they get married.
Okay. How do her adoptive parents feel about all this?
Oh, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to tell you. Because this shit is just mind-blowing. And it's so hard. This is like one of those subjects that's so hard not to judge on. But like you really can't.
Yeah.
But also you're just like, what?
I'm sorry. I also brushed over the fact that you just said they moved to North Carolina and then got married.
Yeah. It's not legal in North Carolina to marry your
I was going to say,
dad.
did the state know?
Yeah, the state didn't know. They lied on their application, which the article I was reading was like, it was legal because they lied. And I'm like, doesn't that like null it out? Like, I have so many questions.
Doesn't that make it a not valid fucking document?
Yeah, can you just lie? And then all of a sudden it's like, you got us back there.
Yeah.
Good job, you got the certificate. I don't fucking know. Like, you think that could be like, let me just put this one in the shredder because somebody lied again. Like, I don't
I
don't know.
Yeah. That's a little, okay.
It seems a little
They're like,
flimsy.
no. We're just first cousins.
yeah. Oh, well, then that's okay.
Oh, fine. Sign here.
That's okay. Okay, so they get married. They don't admit that they're father and daughter, so fucking is legalized.
Okay.
Now, Steven's...
So fucking is legalized.
yeah, I don't know. Fuck it, legalize it. So Steven's mom, which is Katie's biological grandma, was at the wedding. And so were Katie's adoptive parents.
Okay.
Yes. Hard, right?
Yeah.
Hard.
Was grandma like, nice to meet you, great granddaughter? Nope, just regular granddaughter. Nice to meet you, granddaughter.
I don't know.
Also, so glad you're going to keep my son happy.
I'm so glad you're giving me my first,
Great grandchild.
but also grandchild.
Yeah.
What?
Ugh.
It's not first. It'd be my
Maybe
fourth.
the fourth, yeah.
Isn't that weird? My fourth grandchild, but my first great-grandchild.
Yeah, that's weird because it's not supposed to happen.
No, I also don't know if Steven had siblings, so I don't know if those are really her first and fourth. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, in this line,
Yeah.
which is now a straight line.
It is the same branch, bitch. Okay, so, like I said, they're all there at the fucking wedding, right? Even the adoptive parents. And I guess her adoptive parents basically said that there was nothing that they could do to stop her, and so they chose to support her again instead of losing a relationship with her. So they were like, we are not crazy about this idea, but she loves him, whatever. She's old enough. We can't talk her out of it. And so we're going to go. Also, there's a picture of this wedding, and everybody looks like,
Sad.
okay. Yeah.
Everybody's just sad except for them.
Well, they even just kind of look like, okay.
I feel like as like the adoptive parents or something, I might have made like a phone call and been like, hey, maybe check their birth certificates. I think they might be related, but like anonymously so that
Yeah.
you don't get like,
Ratted out.
backlash from it. Yeah.
Well, I'm curious too because, like, you don't really hear Katie's perspective a lot in all of this. Like, you don't have Katie being like, we're fucking in love. I love him. You have Steven saying that, but like, you don't get Katie's perspective. So, like, my personal opinion is that she is being absolutely abused. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
she's being taken advantage of.
groomed and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's probably equally as abusive to her as he was to his first wife, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
And she's like now trapped.
And she's like,
in his
God damn
shit.
it, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, but like you said, being groomed or whatever. And then that whole thing where you're like, I have this obsessive need to bond with this guy who is my father.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing.
Yeah. That's gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine growing up with like a totally normal life and then this happening?
No.
Yeah. Okay, so now they get married. In September of that same year, Katie gives birth to a baby boy and names him Bennett. 2 months later, I guess all of a sudden the local police, who, mind you, when they were first investigated, it's not where they are now, right? So those
Yeah.
police were like, don't fucking do it. And then they skip town.
Yeah. And they were like, deuces, we're going to do it over here. Out of your jurisdiction, bro.
And so now they're in another jurisdiction, and these police are like, excuse the fuck out of me, you just had a baby
Yeah.
out of incest? We're going to have to look into this.
In wedlock?
What is going on here? And so they actually arrest Katie and Steven.
Wow.
And
They
they
do with
both,
the baby at that point.
it goes to the grandma or great grandma or whatever the fuck you want to say, Steven's mom.
Whichever one.
However you choose to
same
call
lady.
her. Yeah, same lady, but, you know, it's confusing.
She wears a lot of hats.
This is probably also why I wasn't going to tell a story. I was like, fuck, who is who? Okay, so they get charged with incest and adultery.
Okay. Adultery.
Adultery.
Wow. Okay.
They get released on bond and are ordered to have no contact with each other. So I guess that's how the law deals with it. They're like, no, legally, no. And they were like, okay.
Legally, no.
And that's all they
Don't
did.
do that.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And I said stop it, so now you have to stay away from each other.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, prison will do that.
Yeah, you would think, right? Okay, so Katie moves back to New York with her adoptive parents. And like I said, Steven's mother gets custody of baby Bennett. I'm not sure why
Mom didn't. at that
Katie
point?
didn't or Steven didn't. Like
Yeah.
maybe because they were charged with adultery and shit, they were like, you guys are not fit to be parents. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Bennett goes with Steven's mom.
Okay. It's a cute name.
I know, isn't it? All right, now a few months go by and Katie decides to officially end things with Steven, and she calls him up to break up with him / divorce him or whatever you want to call it now, right?
Yeah.
Now there's a no contact order, so she's not even supposed to be calling him. So she's technically breaking the law again. Scandalous. But she calls him and is like, hey, listen, I'm fucking over this. We're not doing this anymore. This isn't the life I want. Whatever. I want a divorce.
Yeah.
Steven is enraged that Katie's going to leave him. So he goes to
Katie's already gone.
She's
Yeah.
already gone. I don't know. Maybe they were still talking or something. I don't fucking know the logistics, but she's literally in another state.
Yeah.
And like, well, you're not losing anything. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to get this no contact order removed? Like, what's your fucking plan?
Yeah.
Go live in the woods? Anyway, so he gets fucking pissed because remember, he's got like an explosive behavior.
Yeah.
Fucking emotional wreck. Eggshells, right? He's dangerous.
All the things.
All of the things. And so he goes to his mother's house where baby Bennett lives and picks up his son.
Okay.
He tells his mom that he's going to take the baby to New York to see Katie. Instead, what he does, trigger warning, is he brings the baby home to his house and suffocates the baby and puts him in the closet. I did it quickly.
Poor baby.
And then he hops into the car and he drives from North Carolina to New York and waits outside of Katie's adoptive parents' home. So I guess on Tuesdays and Thursdays around the same time, Katie would always leave to go visit her adoptive grandmother's home in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Okay.
So Steven knew that she would be leaving and he was basically like staking out the place and waiting for her to leave the house.
Yeah.
And there's surveillance footage that captures Steven sitting in like her neighborhood in a fucking minivan waiting for her to leave.
Okay. I hate it. That's really psycho. Also, you've already killed the baby. Like, not to, I don't know, throw a wrench in your plans here, but like, you're not going to get her back.
I don't think he's trying to get her back. Just so you know where the story's going.
I mean, I figure where the story is going, but like, I assumed he was going to be like, "Psst, come back," and she was going to be like, fucking no. And then
Yeah.
he was going to be like, I'm enraged.
I'm enraged. No. He doesn't plan any of that. So he sits out there and he sees Anthony and Katie leaving the house at their fucking expected time or whatever.
Yeah.
And they get in the car and they drive away. And so Steven pulls away and follows Anthony's vehicle.
Okay.
He follows them for a few minutes. And then when they get to a stop sign, Steven pulled up next to them and fired into the vehicle. A witness reported hearing the gunshots. Actually, several witnesses were like, well, we fucking heard gunshots. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then he flees the scene. But what had happened was both Katie and Anthony were shot and they died instantly
Oh
in
my
the car
God.
at the stop sign. And then he just left.
Holy shit.
I know, right? I don't know where it's a little unclear where he goes or what he does, but he stays in New York. Like he doesn't drive all the way the fuck back home or anything, but he drives away from the scene. He's in his car and he calls his mom and he tells his mom, don't go to my house because I killed the baby and the body's in the closet. I just killed Katie and Anthony too, so you need to call the police. And so in the 911 call, his mom is like fucking freaking out. And she's like, my son is upset because his wife chose to leave him. And he just said he left the baby for dead. Like he was supposed to be taking the baby to go see his mom, whatever. Like she was like freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then while the police go and like fucking investigate what the hell is going on at Steven's house with baby Bennett, Steven turns the gun on himself and commits suicide in his car in New York.
Oh my God.
What the fuck? So then now Alyssa just lost her ex-husband, just lost her first daughter, like, and then her adoptive family just lost their adoptive daughter and their, you know, husband, dad. It's like so many fucking people were, and their grandbaby, like so many people were impacted.
Think of Steven's mom.
Oh my God, Steven's mom has to be like fucking losing her shit. And then also Alyssa is like, I tried to prevent this so many times. Like he was a ticking time bomb. I knew he had all those guns. Like he was going to produce a mass shooting. Like I knew it was going to happen. He's like the perfect candidate. And she thinks that the police did not handle everything correctly. And so it could have been prevented, but it wasn't. And then she was like, why did the baby go to Steven's mom's house? Because she's like 70-something. She's not going to be able to prevent Steven from getting the baby, and he still had access to the baby. So, like, who are you protecting? What's going on?
Yeah, that's not a great placement for that baby.
Yeah. And then she also talks about how she lost Katie 3 times in her life. So, like, first when she was adopted and had to give her up. Another time when, like...
She came back and then went with the ex-husband.
Exactly. And then when she died. I'm just like,
God.
Oh my God, what a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
And then you kind of already talked about this, but I guess this is a case that's used a lot to explain genetic sexual attraction, where some people get an intense physical or emotional attraction to someone of their biological family after having been adopted or separated for a long period of time. And it's believed to be like a delayed form of bonding.
Yeah, that's so strange.
Isn't it weird?
It is so strange.
Also, I hate Steven.
Oh, he's a fucking asshole.
And there's pictures of the baby, and the baby's so fucking cute. But at least the baby was so little, like, it didn't know, you know? Like, you don't remember your first fucking year of life, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah,
it's the only saving grace, you know? Like, the baby wasn't put through fucking hell or something.
I mean, it's probably still not great.
No. It's all awful. But then also, super judgy thing that I'm about to say here. But, like, they have a, tell me.
Yeah, I'm ready.
But they have a photocopy of the 11-year-old's journal.
Yeah.
And, like, in the journal, there's, like, so many cuss words. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, WTF, I'm supposed to call her stepmom, whatever. And they're probably having sex or whatever. And I get that it's her journal and she's 11. But when I was 11, I wasn't saying that shit. Like, I wasn't even writing that shit. So it makes me think, like, maybe, obviously, it wasn't a good household. But, like, maybe there wasn't a lot of, like...
parental supervision.
Maybe even, like, just parental, like,
guidance?
Discretion. Yeah, like, don't say those words.
Yeah.
Or even if it's, like, don't say those words, it's not like, hey, you know, let's be polite to each other or whatever. It's like, don't say those words, I told you a million times, don't say those. You know, like a crazy household.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it being her diary and she's 11. Like, obviously, if you're 11, you know cuss words and stuff. Like, I could see it being just her, like, I'm not going to get in trouble for it because it's my diary.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's like a private thing, especially in a house where, I mean, if your parents aren't really paying attention to you, then they might not read your diary.
Yeah, that's true.
I would be afraid of a sibling reading it and being like, she's fucking cussing.
She said a bad word.
Yeah, but, I mean, that. And then also, she definitely didn't grow up in a good household, especially with an emotionally explosive or volatile dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I could imagine that she learned some behaviors
things
from
Dude,
him.
how fucking right on Alyssa, though, to get those girls and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Like, she probably just saved their life. And Alyssa is like, I can't believe that could have been me. Like,
absolutely.
that probably was going to be me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if Steven didn't have Katie when Alyssa left him,
That would have been.
Alyssa.
Yeah. And she even said that he used to threaten all the time. Like, if you leave me, I'm going to blow my own brains out and I'm going to make sure that it's on video and that video somehow gets back to you. So you have to watch it. Like, it was very abusive and fucking twisted. So he was always suicidal. He was always, like, making threats and shit. So,
I mean,
how crazy.
I don't know. Maybe it's my fucked up sense of self or whatever. But when someone's like, if you leave me, I'll commit suicide. I'm like, deuces.
No, me too. But I think that we also have maybe different, like, foundation and background and, like, recognize that as abuse, you know?
Yeah, that's probably fair. Or, like, as a bluff, you know? Like, you're not going to fucking kill yourself because I leave. What am I?
And if you do, I'm not going to have any guilt.
Yeah.
Because I know I didn't partake in it.
Or if I get a link from a random number with, like, a video attached to it, I just won't watch the video.
Yeah, I know your fucking plan, man.
Yeah, I'll be like, this seems suspicious. Somebody better check up on him.
Don't be suspicious.
Oh, that's fucked up, though.
That's crazy.
I do find that super interesting about biological relatives finding this weird,
Bond.
like, sexual attraction to each other. Because I've seen, like, a documentary on it or whatever where
Yeah.
biological moms and sons or whatever they get together. And I'm like, ooh,
That's crazy.
she's old enough to be your mom.
She's literally your mom.
Why? Why are you doing this? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird.
It is so weird. And we're all about like not kink shaming here, but like I don't like that at all. I will kink shame incest because I have been raised in a culture to make me believe that it is not right. And also science.
So science. That's the part that gets me. I was like, okay, you seem a little judgy. I also have been raised in that culture where you're not supposed to do that. But I just feel like the science behind it is like, that tells you that like biologically you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy that used to be like a sought after attribute? Like because then you were so purebred that like you had the Johnson nose or whatever, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like because it would just get more and more exaggerated because that gene just kept exploding out.
Yeah. Do you remember the blue people of like West Virginia or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Or there was
There are people related to them, but they're no longer blue. Just so you know.
I saw
They
that on
fucking
Reddit too.
Bred that gene out.
Yeah.
Maybe they can bring it back if they try hard enough. I don't fucking know.
Put in work. Get your sister.
Oh, no.
I also saw a documentary on people, I don't remember what country they were in, but it was like much more widely accepted or whatever. And it was a brother, sister, and they kept having kids. And 1 in 4 of their kids would have like,
A thing.
they would be like totally, they would have a thing, yes, like blind, deaf, and mute or whatever. And so then it's just like this body that you have to take care of. And they're like, yeah, I mean, 1 in 4 chance. It was a 1 in 4 chance. And like
Yeah.
2 of their kids had it or something out of like 4 kids. But it was a 1 in 4 chance. You know what I mean?
Each time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Each
yeah,
time you
yeah,
get pregnant, it's a 1 in 4 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It also.
Also, just like pull out. Or don't fuck your sister or your brother or whatever. But like also, maybe don't bring in like a genetically messed up person.
Yeah. 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 What about the stories or like the cases where like people don't know that they're related?
Yeah, that's gross.
And then you find out your first cousins
Ugh.
through like 23andMe. Oopsie. I'm sorry. I just got a hard hit.
Do you think 23andMe? Do you think 23andMe is ruining a lot of relationships?
I mean, there's got to be in some of those states.
Some of those states.
Oh my God. It's fucking all of the incest cases are always coming from like the Appalachian Mountains in like West or in Virginia or whatever, you know? They're like, no, they can't get out. They're fucking stuck in the mountains and generations just keep procreating. And I'm like, we have roads now. Let's build them a road.
Get them out of there. I think I watched the same thing as you. Did you watch a documentary or a video or something? Was this on Reddit? I feel like I literally just saw this.
Click on all the same shit.
Yeah.
I did too. I don't know. Maybe I sent it to you. I don't know.
Maybe. I remember seeing like a fucking dotted up map of being like, here's where a lot of incest is. And it was like all in the Appalachians. And it explained like because they couldn't get out of this town. So they
Yeah.
just kept fucking.
Maybe that was a like a Reddit thing because it was like a compilation of stuff, and it also had like
The blue people.
it had the blue people, and it also had that one from White Underbelly, whatever,
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
the like yip people. I forget their names.
I do too. The whites.
No,
No, it wasn't.
the Wonderful Whites of West Virginia is.
Oh.
I don't know if they're like incest. I don't think they are. I mean, maybe shit. Maybe they are.
I don't
But
know.
solid documentary if you haven't watched it yet on Netflix.
Yeah.
Go watch that shit.
Yeah.
Solid. Fuck
it on
you,
Netflix?
Dennis. Yeah. Yeah, it is. That's where I found it.
Oh my
like
God.
in the fucking pre-Netflix, like first evolution of Netflix days where you had to like order the CD and it would
Yeah.
come to you in a couple days. Yes, watched it so many fucking times. And then I would just tell everybody that I know, you need to go watch this documentary.
Yeah. I remember. That's where I got it. Fuck you, Dennis.
Fuck you, Dennis.
Um,
Y'all serve chicken fajitas here. What? CBS done took her baby. I could quote the whole movie. It is so fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm the prettiest of all.
Oh my God, okay.
You need to watch it. Go
Wow.
watch it.
I got to watch it again. I've only seen it once.
yeah,
And, like,
you need to watch it again so you can quote all the shit with me.
yeah.
Anyway, so let's close this bitch out.
Okay.
If you want to check out pictures pertaining to my case, go to isgdpodcast.com. Also, you will find links to our Patreon and our merch. Go join our Patreon. For as little as $1, you get an extra episode every month. Or $10, you get fucking video of every episode, raw footage, just all the mistakes and everything. Mm-hmm. And
sometimes inappropriate things are said.
yes. Me le bastese.
I think it was probably me this time.
Was it? Okay, good. Thank God.
Thank God.
I never know who's going to be the offensive one.
I know.
Anyway, also go check out our fucking, podcast. You already are if you're here. We're on
true.
social media. ISGD Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and sometimes TikTok. It's been a very long time on TikTok. I need to put some shit up someday. I had a gopher in my bed yesterday. All right,
Listen,
So
we'll give
fucking
you a break.
Chill.
While you were TikToking next to it.
It doesn't explain everything else. But anyway, and then you can email us at isgdpodcast@gmail.com. Hope you really got that because I didn't say any of those words right. Or you can snail mail Aaron at,
P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
and that's it.
And that's all.
And that's all, folks. Bye.
Toodles noodles. And if you're all caught up on our podcast, stay tuned for a promo from True Crime Talkers San Diego podcast.
Are you obsessed with true crime? And do you live in or love San Diego? So do I. So I created a niche true crime podcast all about San Diego cases. My name is Jamie, and I'm the host of True Crime Talkers San Diego. If you want to learn more and this sounds intriguing, you can follow us on Instagram or listen to the show wherever you normally find your podcast. Tune in every week and let's discover the darker side of San Diego together.